the Florida United Numismatics Convention, or the Fun Show as it is more colloquially known, has always been a highlight on the annual numismatic calendar. But this year's US Signature Coins auction hosted by Heritage Auctions at the event was truly something spectacular, with coins from the Allen V. Weinberg collection, the Greensboro, and the Dale Friend collections, to name but a few, featuring to achieve more than $43 million. It was truly difficult to find coins that stand out in that crowd. However, the undeniable jewel of the auction was this exceedingly rare 1885 silver trade dollar coin. There is little doubt today that the 1885 trade dollars were in fact struck at the Philadelphia Mint, most likely in early 1885. But the circumstances surrounding such an event are still shrouded in mystery, as the official mint records reflect no such coins being struck at all. So it seems that either the coins were minted clandestinely by rogue mint employees, a practice which was shockingly pervasive at the time, or equally as likely that they were minted as a part of an initial trial strike which was quickly shut down, without the coins being destroyed subsequently. At any rate, there are only 5 known examples of this coin, which place it on par with the 1913 Liberty Head nickel for rarity. And the last known appearance of such a coin at auction was a decade and a half ago in 2004. This specimen is even more laudable, however, for being the finest known example of all 5 of the 1885 trade dollars at a grade of proof 66 from NGC. The coin, which hails from the famed Atwater and Eliasberg collections, was sold for an extremely worthy $3,960,000. Unlike its older sibling, there is absolutely no doubt today, despite rumors of the contrary circulating in prior decades, as to the legitimacy of the 1884 trade dollar. Despite having been withdrawn from circulation at this point, the mint continued to strike trade dollars for numismatic purposes, mostly to be included in proof sets up until 1883. The natural assumption at the Philadelphia Mint was that this practice would in fact continue in 1884 as well. However, very early on in the year, orders came down that the trade dollar should now be excluded from the proof sets as well, in an effort to eventually phase out the coin completely. This order was only received, however, after 264 coins were already struck and had been delivered to the mint's cashier on January 19th of that same year. Those coins were then recalled and melted down for restriking, but not before at least 10 examples managed to escape the mint. Those 10 coins are today the only known surviving specimens of this rare issue. Again, in terms of absolute rarity, this places the 1884 dollar slightly ahead of the 1804 silver dollars, which there are in fact 15 known examples of in all classes. This proof 66 grade from NGC was sufficient to see the coin breach the $1 million mark and close for $1,140,000. From there, we head back to the early days of the US Mint to view a stellar example of a 1793 Chains large cent of the Sheldon I or Ameri variety, where the word America was seemingly inexplicably abbreviated to exclude the last 2 letters. These are officially the first ever coins minted for general circulation under the federal system, excluding a batch of Half Dismes and several patterns minted the year prior, a few of which we'll also be taking a look at in just a few moments. In total, 36,103 of these coins were minted across all varieties during February and March of 1793. PCGS estimates that this is the second finest known coin of its kind obtained from the Allen Weinberg collection. The coin still retains original red mint luster in some of the protected areas, such as the links of the chains. Graded by PCGS as MS64 plus brown, a coin which was bought in 1947 for the sum of $1,000, was sold in 2019 for $1,500,000. The Stellas were a very short-lived experiment by the Treasury to establish an international trade unit by the US Mint, similar to that of the Royal Mint's sovereign, the French 20 franc or the Austrian 8 florin coins at that time. Suffice it to say that due to a multitude of reasons, the experiment was not a great success. However, speaking strictly as a numismatist and a coin collector, the program did produce some very nice coins. Of the two major varieties, the coiled hair design, of which this coin is an excellent example, is by far the scarcer. Various estimates place the surviving numbers of the coins between around 12 to 15 examples, with the original mintage believed not to have been far greater than that. The present example of this rare $4 gold coin has appeared publicly only 3 times since 1948, again in 1997, and then at the current sale, where the NGC graded Proof 66 cameo coin joined an elite rank of coins sold for more than $1 million, when it in turn sold for $1,050,000. The various 1792 patterns are some of the most important relics in the American numismatic catalog, and of those, the 1792 silver plug cents are also unique as the US Mint's first bimetallic coins. The silver plug cents were a way for mint officials to try and reconcile Congress's demands in the Mint Act of 1792 with reality. The original specifications called for a coin with an equivalent of 264 grains of copper. However, this would result in a coin that would be far too large for practical concerns. One of the solutions suggested was to mint a coin with 1/4 cent's worth of copper and plug it with 3/4 cent's worth of silver, making it a more reasonable size. Congress eventually relented and reduced the requirements, eliminating the need for such a solution. Today, there are only 12 known examples of these silver plug cents surviving, and this coin has been in the Allen Weinberg collection for the past 35 years. When he acquired the coin in 1983, he paid $40,000 for it. Today, it is graded by PCGS at SP 58+ with a green CAC sticker. The coin fell under the auctioneer's gavel for $750,000. Well, if rare quarter dollars is your forte, then the original 1827/3 capped bust quarter has to be very high on your list of dream coins. There are written accounts attesting to the remarkable rarity of this coin as early as 1857. It is thought that the small proof mintage was struck for some unknown purpose, as today only 9 such coins are known, and in fact, these same 9 coins were already documented by 1867, with no new examples of this original striking having surfaced in the interceding 150 years. Graded by PCGS as Proof 65, it is the first time that this particular specimen from the Greensboro collection has appeared publicly, and on this occasion, it raised $444,000 at auction. 1792 is the year in which the US Mint was officially established, and as such it represents us with several fascinating coins to admire and study. As a numismatic researcher, it can be both thrilling and frustrating, as accurate record keeping wasn't necessarily the Mint's top priority at that stage. The 1792 Dime patterns are widely acknowledged as existing in 3 main varieties: a silver coin with a thick and thin planchet, 2 copper coins with a plain and reeded edge. Rumors about off-metal and silver-coated varieties have also persisted through the years. This coin is of the Judd 10 or reeded edge variety and is graded by PCGS as SP 55, which saw it sell at auction for $336,000. The 1792 Half Disme represents an interesting case, as it was the first US coin produced in significant quantity as to not strictly be classified as a pattern, with at least 1,500 coins being produced by July 13th, 1792. In fact, those same 1,500 coins were personally received by Thomas Jefferson, then still Secretary of State to George Washington, in exchange for $75 worth of silver bullion. speculated to have most likely been Spanish colonial coins. Here we have again an extract from the Weinberg collection, which was graded by PCGS as MS63+, and sold on this occasion for $288,000. Seeing the current coin at a glance, you would be easily forgiven for thinking that it was just an ordinary capped bust cent, but this coin is in fact not a federal issue by the US Mint at all, but rather what has become known as a Jefferson head cent. The coins were in fact minted privately in the hopes of coaxing Congress into awarding a private minting contract to produce the coins for circulation, an effort which ultimately came to naught. PCGS gave this coin a grade of XF40 and it managed to sell for $264,000. The 1887 Liberty Head Double Eagle is one of the handful of issues that was only produced in proof with no regular business strike coins minted in that year. The official mintage for the issue is 121 coins, although modern estimates place the surviving number of coins around the 20 to 25 pieces mark, with the higher end of that estimate seemingly borne out by population data of the major grading companies. This specimen is the highest graded example known as Proof 66 Deep Cameo from PCGS, a fact which led to the coin's record-breaking final price of $240,000 at the auction event. And if Morgan dollars are more your fare, then surely the 1893S would do quite nicely. The issue's low mintage of only 100,000 coins was the result of an economic downturn experienced around that same time. The issue is basically difficult to obtain in any grade, but in mint state it is nearly unseen, with only a handful of coins really known. The MS63, coin from NGC, could easily form the crown jewel of many a high-tier Morgan dollar collection. It remains unclear as to exactly why a $3 gold coin was introduced into circulation in the 1850s. Perhaps the gold rush of that era inspired the denomination, or perhaps there was a more practical concern that was addressed by the issue. At any rate, the denomination did not prove popular, and the mintage figures soon dwindled down to a mere token issue by the 1870s. But even so, few coins can compete with the 1875 Indian Princess $3 coin, which only has a recorded mintage of 20 proof coins total for the year. The piece here was graded by NGC as Proof 65 Cameo, tying it for the second finest known of this limited issue. $228,000 secured a new home for this spectacular rarity. The 1943 so-called copper penny is one of the most renowned mint errors ever produced, and certainly one of the US Mint's most celebrated blunders. All 1943 wheat cents were meant to be struck from zinc-coated steel in order to save the urgently needed copper for the ongoing war effort. However, a few leftover bronze planchets from the 1942 production run were still stuck at the bottom of the tote bins used to feed the blanks into the minting press, and unbeknownst to mint officials, a handful of these coins managed to slip into circulation. The coin featured here is special as it is the original discovery specimen found by Don Lutz Jr. in his school cafeteria in 1947. Graded by NGC at AU53, this is the coin's first ever auction appearance, where it managed to change hands for $204,000. And I think that is a good place to draw the line for now, otherwise I could literally go on like this for hours. Let me know what you think of these coins and the prices they achieved in the comment section below. Subscribe to WNN and activate notifications with the bell icon if you haven't already, not to miss any future videos. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman, saying thank you very much for watching, keep collecting, and have a great day.